Hello students, so in today's video I'll be teaching you the photoelectric effect. So we will be talking about some outlines, that is what is photoelectric effect, what does it prove, and what is the procedure, what is the principle behind that. So that all will be talking about in this video. So coming to the topic, that is photoelectric effect. Photo means light. Okay, we can relate it like we are going to talk about light. That is what basically we are talking about today. And electric means, if we simply see that electric, then we are relating this term with electricity. So somehow we are going to talk about the light and electricity, and the two are related to each other. That means in some way we are creating electricity using light. Is it? Yeah, that's the case. So why light only? Why light? Because light is very beautiful thing that is having a dual nature. Light do have a dual nature. What do we mean by dual nature is that since a long period of time people believe that light is a wave. Light is a wave. And why is it so? Because we know the biggest source of energy on the earth is sun, and from sun to the earth, sun to earth, the radiations are coming in the form of wave. Radiations means light are coming in the form of wave. That's why they are reaching earth, and that's how the people believe that light is a wave. And there were many experiments to prove that light is a wave. That can be Young double slit experiment, polarization, diffraction, that all proves that light is a wave. But there is a twist in the story. There was a scientist, that is Einstein. He has proposed a new theory, that is photoelectric effect. Now this photoelectric effect is the proof that the light is a particle. Light is a particle. This experiment proves that light is not only the wave, it can also behave like particle. In some cases it behave like wave, in some cases it behave like particles. Okay. So now we are going to talk about the photoelectric effect. What is the configuration? How does it work? So simply we do have a setup in this. That is, if I have a metal, we all know what are metals. They have free electrons. Okay, like iron, copper, nickel. These all are metals. And what do they have? They have free electrons inside them. What do we mean by free electrons? That if there are many electrons inside the metal, okay, if there are many electrons inside the metal, these all are binded by each other. Means the electron inside the crystal is bounded by these four. This is not a free electron. This is the bounded electron. But what about the surface electron? It is bounded by this, by this, by this. What about the above one? There is no electron above this electron, so that is why there is no boundation on the surface electron, and that surface electrons are called as free electrons. Now, what will happen? We are talking about the photo, that means light. If I throw some radiation, if I incident some radiation or incident a light or photon, what will happen? These photon, they are having some energy. These electron will absorb this energy of photon. These electron will absorb the energy of these photon, and what they will do? They will eject out. They will eject out. It is similarly like if you are eating some food, you will get some energy. Then food is the photon. An electron, they are absorbing some food. They are eating some food. What will happen? You will get energy. You will be running and you will be doing your work. That is same happening with electron as well. It is getting energy from the photons, and this is 100% absorbed by the electron. And this is how the electron is ejected out from the surface of the metal. So this is a broader picture of photoelectric effect. Now this is what we know, that what is happening inside the solid or the metal. What is photoelectric effect? Now coming to the topic, what should be the energy? Can it be anything? No, it can't be anything. There should be a minimum energy given. Okay. If you need energy of 2 apples and you are just eating a half apple, you will not get that energy. You can't do the work, whatever you want. The same thing is happening with electron as well. If it needs some amount of energy, like say it's 2 electron volt, if it needs energy, minimum this much energy to eject out, and if you are giving the energy that is 1 electron volt, it can't. There should be a minimum energy, there should be a limit that you should give to the electron so that it can eject out from the metallic surface. And this minimum energy, whatever we are giving to electron so that it can eject out, that is known as the work function. That is known as the work function. It is denoted by the symbol phi. Okay, it is denoted by the symbol phi. Work function is the minimum energy which should be given to the metal to eject out the electron from the metallic surface. This is the minimum energy that should be given. Like if your electron need an energy of 8 electron volt, then you should give whether 8 electron volt or energy more than that, means 10 electron volt, or it can be anything but more than that or equal to that. But if you are giving energy less than this amount, that is the work function, that is phi, that electron can't be ejected out. Now what is this work function and what it depends on? Work function depends on the type of metal. Like for cesium it's very less, and it depends on the atomic number, whatever the nucleus we are taking. Okay, so this is the minimum energy we have talked about. Now we know that we have kinetic energy, we have phi, that is work function, and we have some so we know that for electron, for photon, the energy is h nu. E is equals to h nu, where h is the Planck constant and nu is the frequency of that radiation. And we know that nu is equals to c by lambda. So from here we can get that E is equals to hc by lambda. What is lambda here? Lambda is the wavelength. Means from this expression we can say that energy is only dependent on the function of wavelength. Means energy is inversely proportional to wavelength. Okay, means if you are decreasing the wavelength, then the energy will be high because they are inversely proportional to each other. Okay, and we do have a relation that is called as the kinetic energy is equals to E minus phi. Now what, this is the photoelectric equation, this is the Einstein equation of photoelectric affair. What does it say? E is the external energy you are giving. Okay, phi is the work function. Phi is the work function. E is the external energy you are giving. Like say if the work function of the metal is 8 electron volt, and if you are giving the energy of 10 electron volt, so say if your electron is absorbing, an amount of 9 electron volt, then where is that 1 electron volt is going? Your electron is only absorbing the 9 electron volt, you are giving 10 electron volt. Where is that 1 electron volt is going? That is the kinetic energy of that electron. Okay, that is the kinetic energy when that electron will eject out from the metal. Now there is a twist in the story, that is if you are giving the energy more than the work function, is it compulsory that the electron will come out? No, it's not compulsory. It's not compulsory that even if you are giving the sufficient amount of energy that is more than work function, it's not compulsory that electron will come out. And that's, I will tell you how that will happen. You know, this is kinetic energy, but this is the maximum kinetic energy. What do we mean by maximum kinetic energy? That it is the maximum kinetic energy limit, but it is for the ideal case. Ideal case. Okay, this is the ideal case. Now I will give you one example so that you can understand it very easily, because it's too complicated to understand like this. Say if I am I'm giving 10 rupees to a kid and he is going to shop. Okay. He has to buy chips of 5 rupees and I have given him 10. What will he do? He will go to shop and he will buy the things because he is having more money even to buy the chips. What if he is going and he met a beggar in the midway of the road and he gives that money to him? What is he having now? He has 0. He has 0 because he has given that 10 rupees to that beggar because he need that. He has given that 10 rupees to beggar. Then what do he have? He has 0. So can he go to shop now? Can he buy the chips? No. So same is happening with the electron. Now what is happening with the electron? Here there is no beggar, there is no chips. What is happening with electron? Electron, electron, electron. There are many electrons. And we know in solid, even if you are not giving any external energy, there is some collisions inside the solid. There are some vibrations in the solid. So inside this metal, there will be some vibrations. Even if you are not giving external energy. But if you are giving some external energy, that vibration or that collision will start randomly. There will be more. So if these electrons are colliding with each other, what they will do? They will lose their energy. They will lose their energy. Okay. By collision, they will lose their energy. And even at T is equals to 0 Kelvin, means if there is no external energy inside the solid you are giving, still there are some vibrations. So this is the ideal case that kinetic energy will be E minus phi. But it is not the case for every individual electron. And for every individual electron, you can't find even the kinetic energy because you don't know where that energy is losing. Like in collision or in some other cases, we have many type of defects inside the solid that we will talk about later. But this is what happening, that this is the kinetic energy maximum. This is not the kinetic energy of individual electrons. Okay, so this is E minus phi. E we have h nu and phi is the h nu naught, where nu naught is the threshold frequency. Now what do we mean by threshold frequency? Like we have minimum energy to eject out the electron, that is work function. So threshold frequency is similar to that only. That is the minimum frequency you should give. Okay. This is the minimum frequency you should give to metal so that it can eject out the electron. Okay. So you know that this relation is kinetic energy maximum. You write this maximum, otherwise this expression will be wrong. Okay. Kinetic energy is equals to E minus phi. Okay. So I have told you that the energy you are giving from outside should be greater or equal to the work function. E should be, E the external energy you are giving should be greater than, it should be greater than or equal to phi. And what is this phi? This is work function. So from this condition, you can say that the phi, the work function, is the minimum energy that should be given. And from here we have E is equals to h nu. H nu should be greater than or equal to phi. Okay. So nu will be greater than or equal to phi by h. Where this nu is the threshold frequency. You can write it as nu naught. Okay. Nu naught is the minimum frequency and that is called as the threshold frequency that should be given to eject out the electron, and this phi is the work function, as is the Planck constant. We know it. Now we have talked about the minimum frequency, that is threshold frequency. There is a other terminology, that is, I have told you that energy is dependent on the wavelength. E is proportional to, inversely proportional to lambda, that is wavelength. So what will happen? E is equals to, we know that E should be greater than equal to phi. E is equals to hc by lambda naught. Lambda naught is a threshold wavelength. It should be greater than or equal to phi. From here we will get lambda naught is equals to less than or equal to hc by 5. From here, this is the less than, means it should be the minimum wavelength, means lambda naught is the minimum wavelength that should be given, minimum wavelength that should be given, okay, to eject off the electron, and that wavelength is called as the threshold wavelength. Okay, threshold wavelength. Now there is these all are the things which we are talking about, the photoelectric effect. What is this photoelectric effect? That if you are incidenting some photon or some radiation over a metallic surface, what will happen? The electron will eject out from the metallic surface. Then we have talked about the work function, that is the minimum energy. Threshold frequency, that is the minimum frequency. Threshold wavelength, that is the maximum wavelength you can give. Maximum wavelength. Okay, this is not minimum, this is maximum wavelength. There is a limit. Okay, now in between I have said I made a statement that even if you are giving the energy more than the work function, it is not necessary that the electron will eject out. And I've said because there are some collisions inside the solid, so that energy will be lost somewhere. Okay, so what if I increase the intensity? What if I increase the intensity? Okay, means if I increase the energy I'm giving from outside, will the number of electrons ejecting out will be more, less, or same? Means there will be no effect. Okay, so if I increase the intensity, I know that energy is only dependent on wavelength. So if energy is only dependent on wavelength, will the energy will change while changing intensity? No, because it is only dependent on lambda. So it doesn't matter how much intensity you are increasing, it will always be constant. Energy will not change if you are increasing the intensity, because it is only dependent on the wavelength. If the wavelength is same, if we are having two bulbs, that is B1 and B2, and both are having yellow color, both are glowing with yellow color. Yellow color means both are having yellow color, means they have same wavelength. And if they are having same wavelength, the energy corresponding to them will be same. Doesn't matter what power you are giving. If there is 200 watt and there is 600 watt, the intensity of glowing will be same, because it doesn't matter how much energy you are providing from outside, it is only dependent on the lambda. Okay, so if I plot a graph between the intensity and energy, that will be a constant graph, because it will never change, it will not change. Okay, and that's because energy is only dependent on the lambda. We have seen from this expression. So till now we have studied about what is photoelectric effect, work function, threshold frequency, wavelength, and the graphical representation, intensity. So if you are increasing the energy from outside, there will be some change. Now there is energy is constant, but there will be some change. What that change will be? Say if earlier if energy is less, okay, and then energy is high, but the wavelength is same for them, lambda 1 and lambda 1. What is changing? Number of photons. Number of photons coming out are changing. If in 1 second here 4 photons are coming, then here in 1 second there will be 6 photons. Okay, but the energy corresponding to them will never change. Okay, now coming to the last outline of our today's topic, that is how it proves that light is a particle. How it proves that light is a particle. How photoelectric effect proves light is particle. How does it prove? See, if something is wave, okay, what do we understand by wave? It is like traveling like a wave, or, okay. By wave name, we just imagine such a picture in our mind. And if we are talking about particle, there are some packets of particle we imagine that they are coming to us. Now let's imagine if you are having a metal and it is capped on your roof. Okay, it is capped on your roof. That is a metal. There is sun. What is happening? The radiations are coming on the metal. Radiations are coming on the metal. Some less radiation, some radiation, some radiation. That all radiations will be add up. Okay, means say one wave, two wave, three wave, one wave, two wave, three wave. So resultant will be six waves. Understand it like that. It's not six waves. Okay. So whatever the amount of light this metal is getting, that is all these six waves. Okay. So that will heat up after some time. What is happening in the particle nature? If this metal needs a energy of 2 electron volt, and you are giving energy, say 1 electron volt earlier, then 1 electron volt earlier, then 1 electron volt afterwards, doesn't matter if you are giving the 100 electron volt even, it will never eject out the electron. And why is it so? Because it needs 2 electron volt, and even if you are giving 1 photon only, that is of energy 2 electron volt, that electron will eject out. So that is how it is showing that this light is our particle with the help of photoelectric effect. So that was all about the topic. Thank you so much.